Get advice from people who are happy. All right? Get advice from people who are successful at relationships, you know, and they're going to be real and honest. Don't get advice from your bitter friend that's unhappy. Just being real with you. Don't get advice from somebody who knows nothing about being successful in a relationship. Just period. You know, and 9 times out of 10 times, the person that you're going to is bitter is going to give you bad advice. So get advice from people who are successful, who made it through hard times, who made it through tough times, and get advice from those people. Those are people that you want to get around to help your relationship. And so I just wanted to share that, man. I'll make some small videos over this. I talked about this 1,000 times before in different videos. I have a video called How to Make Your Relationship Stronger on YouTube, even on my Facebook. I actually have like a little, what do you call it? A little picture video over those things, 5 steps to make your relationship stronger. But at the end of the day, it takes work. That's it. It takes work. And it takes prayer. So the whole message of today, sorry, Brenda's internet was messed up, man. We're gonna have to get her some better internet over there. I know she's watching this, but the whole message, and I knew she would have some great points. So I'm gonna have to bring her back because Brenda's amazing. But the whole point of this was to start praying for the person that you're with. Make sure you're praying for the person that you're with, or praying for the person that you want to be with. And as you're in the waiting process of being single, make sure you're working on you. You know, don't ask God for a relationship when you're not ready to be in one. Don't ask God for the perfect person when you're not that perfect person, okay? So make sure that you're always working on you. And in his timing, it will come. But a lot of times he has that person for you. He has that thing for you, that dream, that relationship, whatever it may be. It's just that we're living so much in denial. We're not willing to work on ourselves. We're living so much in denial that God's delaying that because he doesn't want to give us something that we're just going to ruin and mess up. This is not a message to say you got to ignore being hurt or anything like that. Y'all seen a lot of my videos when it comes to those topics. You know that disrespect shouldn't be tolerated, anything like that. But a lot of relationships let little small things unaddressed. And that's another thing about communication. I talked about art communication before with you guys. And art communication, the first step is assurance, right? The first one is appreciation. When you have a problem with somebody, and I know this is easier said than done, but when you have a problem with somebody, instead of just coming to them, because understand about communication, you have to learn who you're talking to. If you're with a person, you know how they're going to respond. So, right, you have to talk to them in a way they're going to respond, or there's no point in talking. Like yelling at somebody, like even with me, if you come to me yelling at me, I'm going to shut down. I don't want to hear that. But if you come to me in a respectable way, a respectable manner, I'm all ears all day. And so the first one is assurance. So when you go to somebody, give them, appreciation. Appreciation is the A. Tell them how much you appreciate them. Tell them how much you love them. Tell them how much you're glad that they're a part of your life. Showing appreciation is one of the biggest things that you can give somebody. That's in relationships, that's in friendships, that's to your boss, that's to whoever. All right? Appreciation is key. So go to them, tell them how much you appreciate them. The second part of our communication is reassurance, right? Reassurance. Reassure them that you're in this, right? That you want this to work. Reassure them that you want to see the best in them. That's why you're bringing up this concern, whatever it may be. Reassure them that how much love you have for them. Okay, do those things. Reassure them of whatever they need to be reassured of, because a lot of times as humans, we need to be reassured of something, because if somebody's coming to me sideways all the time, in my mind, I'm thinking like, are they really for me? Like, are they really for me? Because all they do is try to tear me down. So reassure them that you're trying to lift them up and build them up, that you care about this relationship, you care about this friendship, you care about whatever it may be, this situation. Reassure them of that, okay? And the third thing, the C of our communication, is communicate. By that time, you have their undivided attention. By that time, they know that you're for them, and now you can communicate. You have a better connection line of communication at that point, because now they're not on the defense. Now they're not tripping. Now they're not mad at you, and nobody's yelling. And now you can place your concern to them. Okay, you can place your concern. So ARC, right? Appreciation, reassurance, reassure them, and the C is concern or communicate, whatever it may be. And you talk to them in a respectable way. And you say, this is what's going on. I know it's easier said than done sometimes, right? Sometimes that communication ain't there. I get it. We're all human. But try your best. And, especially on situations that aren't bad, or little things, maybe they don't take you out no more, or maybe y'all lost this or that. And I understand if it's something that's bad, maybe that doesn't work all the time, right? But when it's the little things, express your concerns in that manner, communicate in those three ways. And I think it'll work a lot better. I think you'll see a bigger change. You'll see a bigger response from that person. And it's worked for me. It's worked for me. I've used that communication with a lot of people I coach, my friends, relationship wise. It definitely works. If you're, like I said, and if the relationship is not going to get better, if you're addressing the same things over and over, nothing is changing, everything isn't meant to be quit on. Just because it's hard, just because it's not going right, doesn't mean it can't be right. If a person's progressing, if a person's trying to change, they're making changes, you can see that. I always say never quit on that person, because they're actually trying, they actually care. But if a person doesn't change, doesn't care to change, and keeps treating you a certain type of way, keeps disrespecting you, then that's another conversation. That's another situation altogether. And I always tell you guys, never tolerate disrespect, because the more you tolerate it, the more you tell that person that it's okay to give it, and the more you become comfortable with accepting it. And that should always be unacceptable in life. Communication can be hard. Yeah, communication is tough, but communication is powerful. Without communication, a relationship can't exist, or anything can't exist. Communication is one of our strongest gifts that we have. And so make sure you strengthen that. Make sure you learn how to communicate in your relationship. Understand their insecurities. Understand what they've been through. Understand their past. A lot of us, we have insecurities from our past. And, as a person, we have to let those insecurities go. But also, as the person that you're with, or the person that you're with, you have to understand their insecurities and the things that they've been through and the trauma that they've been through. And, sometimes it's not about you. Sometimes it's what they've been through. They haven't totally got over their past, or something you might say might trigger something that reminds them of their past. And so understanding in anything in life is key. And the more you can understand the person that you're with, the more they can understand you, the less selfish you can be in a relationship. The more you can communicate, the more you can keep it fresh, the more you can do all those things, man, the better. But it takes two people. Like I always tell you guys, man, it takes two people to make a relationship work. One person can't want all this and the other person doesn't. It's not going to work out at all. And so, but there are great relationships in this world. My relationship is excellent. It's great. The communication is there. I know how I communicate with my wife. She knows how I communicate, how I respond. When we go through our little rough times, from whatever, maybe a disagreement, trying to do something around the house or whatever it may be, we used to kind of like, man, you got to get this done. But she I didn't respond well to that. And so she talks to me differently now. I talk to her differently now because I know what she responds to. So we understand each other, and it makes it a lot better. And so, it's trial and error sometimes, getting to learn somebody and know somebody. But, you got to realize that you're on the same team, your teammates. The world's already going to try to break you apart through technology, through whatever, through haters, through time, so much things, even through your kids. And what I mean by that is because, when you have more kids, you tend to spend more time with your kids and have to do certain things with your kids, and you don't necessarily get to connect as much and go on date nights and do different things like that. So you have to make sure those things are still implemented in your relationship, because or else the relationship is going to get boring, and nobody likes anything that's boring. Keep the relationship fun, keep it spontaneous, and have a great time with it, man. That's the person that you're with. That's the person that you love. So, don't give more attention to anything else, than the person that you're with. That's just the way I feel.